Hi, this is Matt from Audio Plugin Deals. Today we're looking at the absolutely massive Crate Diggers bundle from Beat Magazine. Let's have a look at it. So what do you get in this bundle then? Well, essentially you get 16 Beat magazines. And to be honest, for the price, even that I think is good value. Because I was having so much fun the last couple of nights reading through these magazines. But then in addition to that, you have quite an extensive catalogue of software that's available. So if we go down to, let's scroll down. If we go down to this page here, page 9, you will see here we have a link to take us to download some software. Now there's no problem with putting this link up on screen. You won't be able to download anything from this anyway because you need a secret word that comes from this magazine. And also these numbers are sequential anyway, so it doesn't take a genius to work out what the next one's going to be. So these links are hardly confidential. And then once we've clicked on that link, we go to this page here. Now obviously there's one of these pages per magazine, and each of these pages has an extensive list of software available. So here we have, well, they're mostly plugins. There's a few MPC expansions in there as well. Then below that we have some samples, and then below that we have 2 workshops here, one on Ultraspace and then one on Cubase. Now I think now is a good time to put a bit of a caveat or a disclaimer in place for this video. If you look at this list of software, there are 2 that I can see that are freely available without the Beat magazine subscription. So that is this FKFX Influx and also Surge here. Also in later editions there is Filtron from Polyverse. So when I get to the section about looking at the plugins, I obviously won't show the ones that I know are free because they don't really contribute to the value of the bundle. But my disclaimer is there may be 1 or 2 that I show that I wasn't aware were free, if that makes sense. There is so many here that it was just impossible to go through every single one to make sure that they weren't free already. So if I slip one through, then that's just accident. Sorry about that. But just to reiterate, they're very much in the minority. And there are a few that are somewhere in between free versions and paid versions. They're kind of like stripped down paid versions, if that makes sense. And usually these are the ones with the Beat suffix on the end. There are specific Beat edition versions. So if we look at the list of software that I've downloaded so far, and just to say I'm still getting through it, there is so much here. We have this massive list. These are the ones that I'm yet to install still. So a lot of samples here, a lot of software up here. And then in addition, these are the ones that I've already installed. So between all of this that I've installed already, all of the ones I'm yet to install, that will take you quite some time to get through all of it. So let's look first at the Akai MPC Beats expansions. So we have the MPC Beats here, and this is obviously one of the free softwares that's available. And then their expansions are up the top here. So there is what? 10, 15, 18 expansions that come with it. So let's just go through a few of these. Let's listen to them. And also one other thing to say is that usually with these kind of videos, I try to make a demo track out of it, or I try to make a bit of a beat or something like that. But the collection here is so diverse that if I were to make a techno track, for example, I think that would be a bit misleading. The same as if I did a hip hop track, for example. So instead, I'm just going to go through and audition some of the sounds just so you can hear the range and the diversity. This is in the Melodic Horizon pack. In the Sound Mob pack. Bit of funk bass, sounds quite good. Really like that. Let's go have a look at the volts. So apparently all your dubstep needs are covered. Going back to this one, I quite liked it. Nice. There's so much diversity just in this one pack even. And if you're not aware, these are just previews of these individual sounds. So what you can do is you can drag these onto the pads, obviously, and then make your own track. But to avoid this video being 4 hours long, I'm just going to go through some of the sound previews.
Yeah.
This pack seemingly goes on forever. Loads of stuff in here.
Yeah.
Let's move on now to the next one, which is Vegas Festival. Have a look at Bass Thrill. Well, I think you're covered with basses in this one. Next we have, I think this is meant to say burst, or meant to be pronounced burst. Wow, lots in there. And then my personal favorite, which is corrosive, which is obviously an acid pack. Okay, in the interest of time, let's move on. Let's have a look at Harmony of Realms. Which I think I have a use for this sound already, actually. This one is Maxi Freak. This is another one of my favorites, which is a tribute to the legendary Korg MS-20. And as you can hear, this sounds phenomenal. Okay, this is my new favorite pack. We have the icon. Trance Future. Let's see what leads we have in Trance Future. Amazing. Tremors. Which is obviously some bass or dubstep kind of bass music inspired. Transistor, which has a lot of 909 sounds, as you can hear. Awesome. Loving this one. And then what's the final one? Ultimate Drums. Yes, love it. Sorry, I decided to let that one play through. I think I'm going to repeat myself quite a few times in this video, and that is by saying that even if you buy it just for the MPC packs, it is absolutely worth it. No matter what genre you make, there are countless tracks just to be made just from these packs alone. So if you only buy it just for the magazines, it's worth it. If you only buy it just for the NPC packs, it's worth it. And if you only buy it for these samples, which I'm about to show now, it's worth it. Frankly, what you get, it's an absolute bargain. So let's close out of here, and I'll run through some of these samples. And once again, just to reiterate, this is a fraction of the samples. I showed you the list earlier of what I still haven't installed, and I'd say, I'm just going to take a guess, maybe 2/3 have still not installed yet, but hopefully we still show some range in this selection here. So what do we have up first of all? I've essentially grouped it into two main categories. So down the bottom first, we have loops and sounds. These are per magazine edition. So this is episode 185, and there's quite a selection here, quite a range also of sample types. And then if we take 224 at the bottom, once again, quite a range. So I'll go through those in a moment, but this is basically just the monthly samples. And then up here, I've created a creators section. And this is basically by, well, I'm going to call it a creator or an artist. So far I've found we have from Hydrogen and Z Techno. Let's have a listen to how Hydrogen sounds. So there's one pack from them called Tech House Tools. We have some MIDI files here. There's some presets here. And then we get down to the waves. So we have, let's start with this one, Adder Loops. We have some bass loops. Also, just to clarify, there is nothing else going on whatsoever within Ableton. This is just a method to preview these sounds. We've got some construction kits here, which I'll skip because they're usually basically just full songs. We have some fills. Kick is huge. Bit of crackle. Bit more vinyl crackle. Let's have a look at two more. Let's go with synth loops. And then top loops. You can never have enough top loops in your collection. Let's move on to the Z Techno or Z Techno. We have here, there's quite a few from them. We have Afro House and Techno. Let's go straight to, well, let's go bass loops first. Let's have a look at Age of Techno. Loving that. And that. Colombo. Let's choose. This time let's go drum loops. Drum loops full. Let's quickly have a look at Prime Techno and then Techno Army, just so we can move on to the monthly sounds. Here are wave loops, and then we will look at acid loops. Grooves. Yeah, these are sounding awesome. And then let's move on. Unfortunately, I'd love to stay there, but let's move on. And here we'll go to, we haven't done any vocal loops yet. Let's have a listen.
Scream if you are, scream if you are, scream if you loneliness, loneliness. Take the lead, yeah, take the lead, take the lead.
And let's just close this one out by some grooves. So that was in the creator section. There is no official creator section in the Beats magazine. I've just created that so I can group Hydrogen and Z Techno together. Now let's go on to the loops and sounds. As I said, these are the ones that are grouped by edition rather than by style. So they're a lot more diverse. So let's just pick one at random. And then what do we have here? Cinematic moods. got some breaks here. And breaks like top loops are something you can never have too many of. There's always a need for them. We've got some strings here. Some really nice sounding strings too. It seems we've gone through every single genre imaginable so far. And as I said, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but if I paid the price just for these loops alone, I would think this is worth it. But in the interest of time, now let's look at some of the plugins that we get. We're still on this one, so let's load this into Ableton. Let's change the tempo to match 170, it looks like. And then let's have a look at some of the plugins that we get here. So these ones have just marked with the purple tag. We have some synths here. We have some dynamics from Acorn Digital. So let's apply this one. Let's have a look at this. Pretty cool. I'm sure I can find a use for that. We have a reverb here, I think, an arena reverb. Put down room mode. Quite useful. Wait, do we have? Looks like a modulation rack here. Let's put this one, let's say, after the compressor. Sounds pretty good. And we have two synths. We've got a Firefly synth and Firefly synth effects. Let's see what the effects does. What's going on here? So, types of comb filters. The distortion. Pretty cool, but probably not in this context. Let's turn this one off. But definitely a use for that for sure. We have crunch, which I think this is self-explanatory what this is going to be. Then we have Sabrina, which is a reverb, so we've already got one on, so ignore that one for now. Then we have a 6-track, which is another synth, which one of the legendary sequential synth. We have Speed Drum, which is a kind of MPC kind of drum sampler. We have a Transgate, so let's put the Transgate on this loop that we had going earlier. Put it before the reverb. Let's go after, why not? Lots of fun to be had with that one. Then we have Thorn Beat Edition, which is basically like a stripped down version of the paid version from Plugin Alliance or Dimitri Schultz if you go back a while. And this is an amazing sounding synth. Then we have a T-Rax from IK Multimedia, T-Rax White. And then we have Zampler, and what I've noticed is that the MPC content that I showed earlier, not all I should add, but lots of the MPC content I showed earlier also comes with a Zampler edition. So basically just take your pick of what you prefer to use, Zampler or MPC. And to anybody familiar with the June synth, you'll recognize this layout and this name straight away. And June is one of the best sounding synths out there. So Zampler is in very good company there. And just to state once again, this is only a fraction of what you get. I went through the list earlier. So there we go. I hope that gives you just a bit of a teaser of what's in this pack. It is absolutely huge. And for the price it's being offered for, frankly, I think it's a no-brainer. There's hours and hours of fun to be had with all this content. So go check it out on the Audio Plugin Deals website. And I'm sure no matter what style of music you like or what style of music you produce, there is definitely some content in here for you. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with something else. We'll see you then. Bye.